Okay, so I'm Sparrow. I'm a software engineer by day and an artist all of the time, making crypto art as a second job, um, doing community stuff as a third full-time job, um, and a player in metagame. So I'm actually going to talk about an organization that started with me messaging two fellow crypto artists um, last year, sort of end of September, basically saying, that there are a lot of female crypto artists in this space, and you don't hear a lot from them. They don't seem to, be as vocal or promote themselves as much as we see many of the other artists in the space promoting themselves. However, they're always happy to help promote others. So why don't we get together as a group and then we can promote each other? And with that, let me share my screen because we've just launched a website, which is there. We ended up founding an organization of women in crypto art. The two people that I added started adding other artists that they were aware of, and those artists started adding more artists that they were aware of, and the Twitter DM group suddenly hit its limit of 50 people. And so we started a Discord server, and the Discord server soon had 100 or more people in it. And it really felt like it was just an idea whose time had come. And WOCA was born. WOCA stands for Women of Crypto Art. And we had an exhibition sort of almost right away, organized by one of the first members in the group, which was hugely successful. We then took it as part of the mission of the new group, to not just promote each other's work on Twitter, but to organize exhibitions and really get the work of women artists seen in the space. We also thought it would be good because when I joined, or I thought it would be good, when I joined crypto art, the space was very welcoming and open and friendly, and people were willing to help. And as the space has grown larger and larger, some of that nice family feeling has gone away. It isn't as easy to know all of the other artists. And the second bit of WOCA's mission was born, and that was to be welcoming and be a welcoming space for women artists entering, trying to figure out blockchain, trying to figure out art, and how to do all of this stuff. So there's an educational part of the whole organization also. So here's our, we put together a website. I built the website, womenofcrypto.art. You can go, you can see all of the wonderful members who have created profiles, and each one of them can showcase their art and write blogs and do, all of the promotional stuff. It's a great place to link to for collectors to find new art. So we're doing all of this activity. We're organizing exhibitions, building websites, filling out profiles. And then I joined Metagame. And by coming across Metagame, I found a really amazing mechanism to try to reward the contributions that people have made to the organization. So we're a not-for-profit. Just everyone is doing what they're doing completely voluntarily, and on their own time. They're not being reimbursed or anything. And so in Metagame, I came across the two tools that I'll talk about next, that I think implementing in WOCA will make the difference for us as an organization. And those two things are a DAO structure and source cred. So I went off and read all of the source cred docs and the forums and everything else. And I set up a source cred instance so that it would track contributions being made on our Discord. And we have different channels on the server that will give different weights to the different reactions. We've not defined custom emojis yet, but that'll be a next step. And all of those things then contribute to a way of tracking the value that people have contributed to WOCA as a whole, so that they can be rewarded. And this is our current deployed source cred instance with the cred that has been earned by all of our members. There's some members. Daniela proposed an async art collaboration and just started doing that, and everybody, a bunch of other artists got interested. So there's going to be a collaboration artwork of 22 artists that will hopefully be auctioned at the end of this month on Async Art. And that's just because we brought all of the people who were scattered throughout Twitter together into one place on the Discord. So, what the previous speakers were saying about squads and having just that space where people can connect and exchange ideas is really, really true. If you give people the space and enable them to do things, especially creative people, they do. It's all done, without any remuneration. So they're not doing it for any rewards. I'm just now trying to find a way to reward that contribution. And I think that source cred is one of the key tools in helping to make that happen. I think the other tool that we'll use is Colony. And let me just change my network to XDI so that I can do this. I got into the Colony beta, or the first release, so the testing of Colony DAOs on XDI. And I've created a WOCA DAO, and we've set up teams there that align with our missions. So we have an events team, which sort of covers the be seen and be heard. Exhibitions is the be seen. We will create another subgroup for podcasts and live streams, which is the be heard part. And then the be welcome fits in with the community team. So aligning teams in Colony DAO will mean that we can ensure that the three key values of WOCA are funded in a way that aligns with our values, so that we're sure that we're doing the things that we say we want to be doing as a organization. And I don't know if people have seen a demonstration of Colony before, but it really is an interesting way of allocating budgets. So because you can define teams, you can, from the central treasury, set a budget per team that then they can decide how to spend. And how that gets spent is through the normal DAO mechanisms of proposals, with a bit of a twist. In Colony, the basic ethos is, if you have to vote on something, a process outside of your DAO instance, i.e. in your organization outside of the software, has probably failed, because most decisions in most DAOs are made in the Discord or in Twitter DMs or some kind of chat between people. So Colony has taken a novel approach, in that if someone submits a proposal, unless someone objects to that proposal, it will be by default pass. So the key there is to make sure that you have a functioning governance process, or a functioning deliberation process outside of the DAO software, in order to ensure that everything functions properly. And to me, that's kind of key to a functional organization. It just made sense. It saves gas fees. I know gas fees on XDAI are negligible, but it just means that not everybody has to vote for everything. In fact, the vote isn't even triggered unless someone with reputation objects, and the objection passes a certain threshold. All of the voting is, for us, will be weighted on reputation. So you can actually set it up to be token weighted or reputation weighted, or a hybrid of both. But for us, the reputation is more important than the token, the amount of tokens someone has. The other reason that I found and chose Colony to do the WOCA DAO is because of the really interesting mechanisms that you can do with the DAO token. So I've defined a DAO token, a WOCA token, and although it's not there yet, in the minting of tokens, you can do, there will be, so right now there is, you just mint the number of tokens that you want for that one-off transaction. And just like in metagame, my intent is to mint tokens every X amount of time and distribute them then in proportion to the XP that's been earned by members as tracked in SourceCred. But Colony will have also another interesting price discovery mechanism for printing tokens. If you wanted to float the token on a market, for example, it makes the market for you. So you set a price for the token and offer X amount for sale. And depending on whether they sell out or not, the next time they're minted, the price either goes up or down. If they didn't all sell out, the price decreases for the next minting. If the price did sell out, the price increases for the next minting. So it has a built-in sort of price discovery mechanism directly into the DAO software, which I found really an interesting feature. I'm not sure that we are going to use that, certainly not at first in WOCA, but it was an interesting idea to explore potentially in future for fundraising, because we are a donation-driven organization. So in order to fund like the buying of a CryptoVoxels parcel that was donated to us, paying for someone to build on, create the structure on the CryptoVoxels, build us a gallery, that funding will be available to be distributed to people who do the work that makes WOCA's mission possible. And all of that in the DAO treasury will then help ensure that we have value in the WOCA token. One of the other nice things about being a community organization and being donation driven is that also led us to become a part of Panvala League. So we just recently joined the Panvala League just when they were setting up guilds. So we've actually got in on the ground floor of a crypto art guild within Panvala League. Yay. So we can do all kinds of interesting things with crypto art and do events and work across organizations. So not just WOCA. It will be, with other community-based crypto art organizations like NFT Hub and Odyssey, and yeah. Let me go to the last bit. We had a Gitcoin grant because we're based on donations. I started a Gitcoin grant last grant round, so grant round 8, and we raised just over $1,000 in that first round. Whereas in this round, because we've been in existence a bit longer, and I think because we're also in Panvala League, we've been really overwhelmed by the response of people. We've had 86 people contribute so far, and it only opened a week ago. We've had 86 people contribute to our Gitcoin grant in the last week, which to me is just, astounding. And I'm just so happy that what we're doing as an organization seems to resonate with so many people. So there's our Gitcoin grant. Go and donate one DAI. That's all. Because of the matching funds and the way Gitcoin grants work, one DAI donation makes, a big difference. We'll get a $5 match for $1 contribution. So big shout to Gitcoin as well. And so I guess lastly, let me stop sharing and go back to just me. Lastly, what will we do with the donations? We're going to put on more exhibitions. We will look to expand the exhibitions from just the CryptoVoxels parcel into the other virtual worlds like Decentraland and Somnium Space. We were given a share of a Decentraland gallery in the gallery district just recently. And so there will be a series of gallery shows and exhibitions in that space. But ultimately, you know, as an organization, we want to own our own space, so that we can then start thinking about having a permanent exhibition of art, as a way of making, you know, a capsule of this time in this space and the people who were here and the art that was made, just as a way of trying to capture this really special moment that it feels like in the NFT space and in crypto art. So I think that's all I had. If people have questions, I've left 5 minutes or so for questions.
Hey, Sparrow.
Hi.
So obviously one of the things that I've noticed about the Web3 space is the level of inclusion that we go to. Do you find that it's hard to get people into like WOCA and to kind of help that education from the female side?
Not really. It's amazing, again, what happens when you get the right people in the right space. You know, so we have lots of artists joining all the time who are new to crypto. So they're just, you know, female artists who notice WOCA on Twitter or whatever and come and say, you know, how do I make my first NFT, right? And because the server is now full of 100+ other experienced NFT artists, there's always somebody, it seems, to help them out and guide them. Angie Taylor also made a really amazing introduction to crypto art as a free education module that anyone can go and take to learn some of the basics. And I'll put a link to that also in the chat, in the MetaFest chat, when I'm done here. But yeah, it's really hard to connect and have real conversations with people on Twitter, which is where everyone is. So it really seemed like something people wanted was to have a way to actually connect with each other and have real discussions, and show each other support. So, you know, when something happens, there are people there, someone's wallet was hacked. Just like in the metagame server, everybody, you know, pitched in and tried to help, and did what they could and offered support in whatever way they could.
I think what you're describing is really key to kind of anyone's success is that direct connection. And something like Facebook or Twitter, where we just get a text, we get a picture, it just doesn't have the same kind of connection with someone that, you know, us hopping on a call together does, or chatting every day. So,
it's the repeat interactions over time, I think, that make the difference. And if you're not directly interacting over and over again over a period of time, you just don't develop those relationships. But I mean, this collaboration is an awesome example, right? There's 22 artists that work together to produce this artwork over months and months, right? So that group has developed together and gotten to know each other in ways that they wouldn't have if that had never happened.
And so just, I know the answer to this, but if someone's intimidated by they might not be the strongest developer or something like that, what's kind of some advice that you would tell them for like how to get involved?
With crypto art?
Yeah,
you don't need to be a developer
with
at all.
Web3 in general, crypto art, with
Yeah.
with kind of our ecosystem and community.
There's
some of the places.
So everybody has something that they can contribute, right? And in fact, with WOCA, the things, and probably with metagame also, but I'll speak for WOCA, the things that are most needed are the soft skills. It's the people skills. It's the organizational skills. It's the writing skills. If even if you don't make art, if you write poetry or write articles or do videos and a vlog, right? All of those things help us achieve our mission. And so everyone can contribute something.
Yeah, and I think to that point, what we contribute also gives us other hooks for people in our community to kind of connect to us. So sharing those soft skills and kind of filling out our profile, so to speak, help make us into more aware and better people.
Yeah, bring on the skill trees.
Yeah. Great. Thank you so much, Sparrow.